welcome back to The Buzz, and also welcome 2021. Finally, we can say we survived 2020. Honestly, it felt pretty, touch and go, like, the whole time, every single second, every single day.
Yeah, well now we just have to survive 2021.
Don't be such a pessimist, all right? Why you gotta be so negative?
Being a pessimist. I am being a realist. We have to remember that just because 2020 is over, things aren't going to magically get better.
I hate it when you're right.
Well, that's rude. Anyway, I'm just treading into 2021 carefully. We'll see how it goes.
Well, it can't be any worse than...
Don't say it, or it will be.
All right? Okay. It's superstitious. All right? How about we just get on with the show, all right?
Yes, we have some great things planned for this episode, per usual. Wait, did we say our names?
No, but they know who we are.
Well, true, but with the holidays and all, it's been a while since we've had an episode. I'm Lorelai, if you didn't already know.
And I'm Jackson, who feels very awkward doing this in the middle of the intro.
Whatever, Jackson. Coming up in this episode, we have our first ever location interview. We went over to the home base of Take Paws Rescue, the Stray Cafe.
Take Paws Rescue may sound familiar. It's because this rescue is actually featured during Megan's segment, Toby's Friends Adoptable Pet of the Week. Take Paws is an amazing foster-based rescue that pulls dogs from rural, overcrowded shelters and places them in foster homes where they can be safe and warm and live in a home until they're ready to go to their forever homes and families, and it's adorable and I love it.
We were able to sit down and chat with the founder of Take Paws, Monique Bonifons, and learn a bit more about the rescue. We have that coming up, plus a Liaya member artwork spotlight. This episode belongs to Alexis Dufy, one of Liaya's creative writing members. Alexis sent in a poem for us to read.
We can assure y'all, you're in for a treat. Alexis is an amazing writer.
We have that and more coming up on The Buzz. Stay tuned, because up next we have our interview with Monique Bonifons.
We are beyond excited to be doing our very first location shoot at the Stray Cafe and interviewing Monique Bonifons. I got your name right.
You did.
Okay. The founder of Take Paws Rescue.
You've probably heard of Take Paws plenty of times before, as we regularly have a segment on the show called Toby's Friends Adoptable Pet of the Week, where we feature pets from Take Paws that are available for adoption. That's definitely one of our favorite segments.
Very. Thank you so much, Monique, for taking the time to actually do an interview with us. It makes a lot for us. It means a lot to us, especially me.
Oh, well, thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
We looked into Take Paws as we were trying to learn more about the rescue, and we learned about how a dog named Clarence changed it all for you, and that's how Take Paws started. Have you always been passionate about rescuing dogs even before Clarence?
Yes. So as I have always been passionate about animals, owned many animals throughout my lifetime. Never before Clarence really rescued. I should say, formally. Informally, brought home a lot of animals too.
Just to take care of them.
Yes, oh look, Mom, look what I found on the street.
Yes.
That kind of thing.
So
I was always bringing home animals. So and just love them. But formally, no. Like I said, because I did love animals and recognize their plight. I guess I volunteered in shelters, and when I had children, brought my children to volunteer in shelters. And as I got older, began to realize the gravity of the problem out there, and seeing the enormity of the dogs in shelters and animals, and so started following their pages and things, and that's when I saw Clarence and that they were advertising him for a foster, and when he was in just horrific shape. And I just couldn't turn a blind eye. I talked my husband into it, and
brought him home.
Yeah, brought him home, and that was the end of it. There was no way Clarence was going back to the shelter. So, and the rest is history, as they say, I guess.
That is a very, very passionate story.
Oh, yeah.
Take Paws Rescue is strictly foster-based organization. Either the dogs go into their foster homes or they come here to the Stray Cafe, from which they can be seen to be experienced to a home, a loving home, compassion, taught, 24/7 doggo care. Am I correct?
You're very correct.
What inspired you to do this type of rescue?
Well, so when you get to a level when you're rescuing animals, and what I did, so I should start with the fact quickly that when I did get involved with, when I fostered Clarence, I met some people through the shelter, and I started volunteering with another rescue. And it was a small rescue, and while they were doing a lot of good things, it was very small. And I just, again, realized the enormity. I mean, my eyes were just, widened and like,
To
the scale of things. And so I thought, one of our adopters actually wanted to get involved with us.
Oh, really?
And she was a nonprofit professional. And I wanted to bring her into the rescue I was volunteering with, and they really didn't want that. They liked things the way it was, things the way they were.
Small
and yes. So I decided I said, I know that, this I feel like is my calling, and I know that I can do more. Like I just saw,
passion.
I had this passion for it, and I was drawn to this, drawn to do this more, to help these animals. And so I became incorporated and we got our 501c3 nonprofit status, and started developing relationships with people and fosters, to foster other dogs. And you get to a point where you're limited by the amount of foster homes that you have. You can only take in so many dogs, and unless you're going to put 50 dogs in your home, then you've got to find foster homes for them.
Yeah.
So you get to a point where, as you grow, that you realize that you need something more. Or I did. I realized that there has to be more, and that's
Is that
where
this idea sparked from?
This
A
idea.
kind of hybrid dog care organization.
Yes,
rescue organization.
that we need a facility, but it needs to be more. And actually, I saw this concept done in Los Angeles. It's called Cafe.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
I'm sorry, Dog Cafe
I've
LA.
heard of that.
Yes, and that is where I said,
we could do this.
And of course, the cat cafes. I'm like, okay, we can do like a dog cafe, and have dogs live on property and learn how to live at home. Interact with people, and not have to have people go to a shelter and meet the dogs. They can come to a place that is
a much
comfortable, stress-free environment. Yes. So that is how the concept was developed. So it was one step at a time, and to get to this point. And we're not quite there yet, but we are here. We have dogs on property.
Very good step forward.
Thank you. Yes, we're happy with it.
So Take Paws pulls dogs from shelters and places them in foster homes.
Correct.
So one of our questions is, do you pull dogs from outside of the state or just from Louisiana?
So primarily Louisiana, all over Louisiana. Like I said, North Louisiana, mostly the southern parts. The rural shelters are really bad, underfunded, understaffed, under everything. They have nothing. They basically
and oversaturated.
Oversaturated. They live outside in kennels that have, no climate control. Basically just outdoors.
Because they don't have the funding.
They don't have the money.
Facility.
Correct. And it's just really animal control. They're there for however many days, and then they're killed. So it's really a sad situation.
And they can't do anything because they don't have the funding or the people to keep it going.
Correct. So that's where we come in. So we, the internet, Facebook is amazing. Internet, social media, obviously.
You can reach people hundreds of thousands
Correct.
of miles away.
Right. And they can reach out to us and say, okay, these are the dogs that need out, that need to be pulled. So we make a decision based on what foster homes we have, how much space we have here, what we have available, determines what we can pull into rescue. So pull them in. Again, they are usually riddled with any number of diseases, heartworms.
Which is very saddening.
Very saddening,
But
yes.
a reality of royal shelters.
Very much a reality. And I'd say 80 to 90% of adult dogs that we take in are heartworm positive.
Oh.
And it's very painful and it's very expensive to treat. But we don't turn dogs away for being heartworm positive. We take in dogs. Those are the dogs that are in need.
And the expense to save lives.
And yes. So we do it all. We have dogs where we do surgeries. We take them in, we save them. So
we can only begin to imagine just how much it takes and the amount of work that goes into running an organization like this. The adoption bit and process alone, it probably has a lot of technicalities
Yes,
and
it
a
does.
lot of things that go into it.
Yeah.
Could you actually walk us through the process, like from when you receive the dog to when they go to their forever home? Can you tell us about the process?
Sure. So again, the process is, say when we choose the dogs that we are able to take in, they're transported to us. You know, usually, several hours away, and so there's a volunteer network of transporters, and it's really interesting how that is. You know, so many wonderful people who
Yeah.
want to help. You know, it's
It's
great.
just wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah, and so they get the dogs to us. We, get them settled, and so this is kind of like, what would you call it, base camp? So,
HQ.
Yeah, so they come here, they're dropped off. If we have fosters come here and pick them up. We do basic vetting and things here, like, intake, vaccinations and heartworm and flea medications, things like that. We microchip them. We don't like to let a dog leave here without being microchipped.
Just in case
Right.
they can be found even if they get out of the facility and start wandering
Right.
around. If anybody finds them, they can always be identified.
Exactly.
Even without a collar.
Exactly.
Wonderful microchip sock.
Yes, it's a wonderful thing. So we do all those things, and either intake here, they stay here, or they, go to a foster home. At that point, the vetting procedure or process starts, and they, whatever, point they are. Some just need to be spayed and neutered, get the rest of the vaccinations, go to the, see the vet, and then move on. We have an application process whereby, we have a wonderful website, and people can, I'd say our application is about 3 pages long, maybe. And so a lot of questions, because there are so many important questions.
And you
that-
want to find the specific dog that's perfectly fit for a family, so they're always going to a forever home.
Correct. So yes, the questions are geared to matching a dog with a person. Matching the correct dog with this home. So, and also the questions are geared to, like, we have specific protocols that we follow, and also, like, for instance, we will not allow a dog to be adopted into a home if they're going to keep them outside all the time, that sort of thing. We require our dogs to live inside, so we want them to have a happy, comfortable life. They've come from a bad life, so we
One
want
that's
them
where
to
they're
have a good-
always outside.
Yes, right.
One that can trigger stress.
Yes,
in an
yes.
animal.
So we want them to live a good life. So we take them from, hell and send them to heaven, in a good way.
Yes.
If I can say that. So that's basically what we do. But it's a lengthy process, because after
But
an
purposefully lengthy.
purposefully, when an application comes in, then it has to be reviewed. I review it first. I look at every single application. And then I send it off to either foster coordinators or fosters if they handle their own dogs. They review it. They decide whether it's a good fit for their foster. Okay, or then they take it and maybe say, okay, well, this looks like a good fit for another dog.
Okay.
So
I see.
that's how. So we do that, and then the dog. Then it goes through a home check and a vet check. We make sure their current dogs are up to date on vaccinations and.
Just make sure
Neuter.
they aren't exposed to anything that could be harmful towards them.
Right. Or also that we know that if they have a history of treating their dog well and keeping their dog vaccinated and taken care of, we know that they're going to take care of
this
our
dog,
dog.
yes.
Right? So,
Right.
and we want to make sure that they're going to take care of our dog. So we're very particular. They need to have a very good vet check before they move on to a home check. Then they move to a home check where we send a coordinator into their home, or virtually these days with COVID. So they go in, make sure that everything is safe, that the backyard is safe, there are no holes in the fence or places where they can
Where they
escape
can
under
escape
the home.
out and get out and get possibly hurt.
Right, or puppies, for example, in a home where there aren't a bunch of little toys laying around or dangerous things, electrical cords and whatever, just that it's safe. And, and they're not hoarders or breeding just anything crazy. You just want to make sure it's, that it's an acceptable home that they're going into. So that's part of the process. And so once all the checks are checked off, they are approved.
And the family gets to come and pick up their forever doggo.
They do.
That's
They
wonderful.
do. They can come here, or the foster arranges with.
Can have a drop off.
Yeah, like they can come to sometimes they'll meet up at a park, or like a foster, or they'll go to the foster's home
A
and meet
goodbye and a
them.
sweet welcome.
Yes, and so, yeah.
So, as we've mentioned and as all of our viewers know, we have our Toby's Friends Adoptable Pet of the Week segment. That's only done by Megan, who's our wonderful reporter. We absolutely, we love Megan.
She's great.
So we usually find these pets from Pet Finder or from our co-producer Shelby, she's actually a foster for Take Paws. And we find other fosters with dogs looking for homes to spotlight. So are there specific things that you think Megan should be highlighting when talking about the pets?
So yes, the most important things are, the temperament of the pet, the energy level, what exactly you're getting with this specific pet, whether the dog is good with other dogs, good with cats.
Energetic
energetic.
More on the low side.
Right, exactly. What their temperament is. Those things are really important because, again, we want to match the family with
some people want an energetic little puppy. Other people just want a chill dog to hang out with.
Absolutely. Some people want a lap dog. Some people want to run with their dog. Some people, want a senior dog because they're just kind of, they're just going to lay around and relax.
Because they want to give the old person the best
life.
And
there are those. They're wonderful. There are also people who, we have fosters, they're called hospices, and meaning, so they're taking a senior dog, they're going to keep this dog until it passes away, until the end of life, so so say it's a 12-year-old dog, but it's in a shelter, and they will take it in and love it until, because they know it's not being adopted usually. Some people will, so we have those fosters who will take those in, which is wonderful, because there are dogs that are surrendered to shelters at
old ages,
which is truly sad.
Very sad.
So so we have those. So to answer your question, the temperament is so important. Again, the energy level, what they're good with, what they get along with, to get the best match possible. Our goal is always to for the dog to stay in home always. For instance, Blue, or formerly known as Monkey, who you met, was returned to us recently because he was adopted out as a puppy, and we were told that they had a flexible schedule and that they would be able to come home during the day, or they'd have someone come in and walk him and different things, and that he would be able to have an outlet for his puppy energy. Because for a while, he was adopted out at 7 weeks old, so so here we are, he's a year old, and he has plenty of energy, and he was returned to us because he was left in a kennel all day long. He just, because they realized that they didn't have time. You might not be able to get home always to take them out at lunchtime, or somebody, you don't always have someone to come in. That's another thing we sort of try to make sure, we look for flexibility in people's schedules and things, because some dogs need that, because if they're adopted as a puppy, they're going to go through all these stages, and it's important, for them to have some attention so that they don't turn into a dog that's just kenneled and because when he's out of the kennel, then it's let me go dig holes and let me go just so and jump on the 7-year-old and whatever so anyway, he's back, and so we try to avoid that at all costs.
So we have one last question. It's one question that we ask all of the people that we go to interview. And technically, you're not a guest this time. We are a guest in your amazing little cafe. So
and
it's one of my favorite questions of all time.
I love this question.
It's a very simple question.
It's so good.
It's so good. If you could go back in time and give yourself advice at the age of 16, what would you tell yourself?
I guess hindsight is 20/20, right? So, but I would tell myself,
look out for 2020, kids.
Oh, yeah, right. Look out. I would, tell myself, follow your passion, and really think about what you want to do with your life.
And
what you could do. Because you can do anything that you put your mind to. But think about what it is that you really want to do, what's really in your heart. And don't think, and
don't stray from it.
Exactly.
Don't be discouraged.
Don't be discouraged. Don't stray from it. Yeah. I feel like I'm very lucky that I'm able to follow my passion, and live this. I feel like this was my destiny. This is where I was supposed to be.
I mean, you've accomplished a lot in that time.
Thank you. Yeah, got a long way to go, but
Hey.
One step at a time.
That's it. So that's what I would That's what I would say.
I definitely think that's great advice. It's something that I think we can all give ourselves that.
A little pack.
Yes, absolutely.
I'll be able to take that to heart. I'm sure Jackson will too, and anyone else who's watching this. That's something I really love about that question is that since we're both around that age, we can take the advice and we can incorporate it into our lives.
Absolutely. As you should.
Thank you so much, Miss Monique, for coming on to the show. We appreciate you coming on, and we get to see the rescue behind the dogs that we feature. We're really happy about that.
Now, about those dogs, could we see some dogs, including Blue?
Yes.
Everyone would like to see some, and I would too. Some
Come on,
doggos.
Guys. Oh, we get
I
to
want
see
to see
some dogs.
doggos. Doggos at.
Okay, here we go.
Doggos.
Come on. Where are the others? Oh, well, maybe.
Hey, buddy.
Maybe not. Maybe not. Come. Oh, no. Okay, come on, Blue.
He likes you.
Come see Roman.
Over there.
Come see. Oh, goodness.
You don't know what's going on, but there's a lot of adorable dogs.
Okay. Maybe not Thibodeau.
Whoa.
Maybe not Thibodeau. Okay. Okay.
Hey,
Let it go.
Okay. Oh, goodness.
Your mask is now forfeit.
Oh, no.
Your mask is forfeit now. Oh, he's chewing on it.
Oh, no.
I would like that back. Hi. It's gone.
Oh, it's gone.
I know.
It's gone.
I know.
It's the dogs now.
Okay. Here's some treats.
Oh,
Treats. Okay.
Oh, you want to try
Apparently
Okay.
not.
Hello, you like the microphone?
Okay.
Tweet.
Hi.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hi.
Ooh, okay.
Thank you.
Here we go.
Oh, so gentle. Hey, monkey.
Come see, monkey.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Monkey. Hey, buddy. Come on, me and you had a
He knows
heart-to-heart
Blue.
moment.
And we got a dog behind you as well.
Yes.
Oh, he's just chill. He's just chill.
okay.
Chilling on his bed.
It's okay.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
You guys can't see this, but there are plenty of dogs below this table. I promise it's not special effects. Thank you again, Ms. Monique, for taking the time out of your very busy schedule to do that really enjoyable interview with us. It was so much fun, and I loved meeting all the dogs at the Stray Cafe. Be sure to check out future episodes of The Buzz to see which dogs are featured on Toby's Friends. And also check out petfinder.com if you're looking for your next best friend. All dogs at Take Paws Rescue who are available for adoption are on Pet Finder. Be sure to also like and follow Take Paws Rescue on Facebook. They are always posting adorable pictures of their available dogs. And if you don't think you're quite ready for a new pet, but you still want to help, you can definitely still lend a helping paw. Get it? 'Cause not even like a pity laugh or anything. Okay, if you're interested in becoming a foster for Take Paws, you can apply to become a foster on their website, takepawsrescue.org. They're always looking for animal lovers to help give these dogs a temporary home before they head out to their forever home. And if you don't think you can take being a foster, no one would blame you. I wouldn't be able to do it. I'd keep every single dog that comes into my loving arms. You can always volunteer to walk or play with the dogs that are at the Stray Cafe. Do transports to help the dogs to get to their new foster homes, since many of them come from rural shelters, or help them get to the vet when they need it. Or you can simply donate. All this information is on their website, takepawsrescue.org, or on their Facebook. Up next, we have our Member Artwork Spotlight segment.
Alexis Dupuy is our Liaya member artwork spotlight for this episode. Alexis has been a member of Liaya for 3 years. She began in visual arts, but later found that creative writing was more suited for her, and we are glad that she found her niche there. Alexis is a published author through Zing Publishing. She, along with the other students in the creative writing department, has published 3 short stories in Alternate, a science fiction collection of short stories. She plans on publishing more books in the future, one of them being a poetry book. She submitted a poem for us to read on The Buzz, and we thank you, Alexis, for allowing us to spotlight your work. The poem is titled Lost Hope. The atmosphere grew dim, while my heart is beating loud, like 1,000 drums, as I try to navigate through this hallway. Unsure of where to go, unsure of where it will lead. I can't seem to walk right. The walls are jagged, leading me to forks in the road. Where is the end of this chaos, and will I be able to make it? Footsteps louder than lightning pounding the earth behind me. I lunge forward, but every step I take, they just grow closer to me. I turn the corner, zigzagging past obstacles around me, but they continue to come for me. I pause as my body slams against a wall. Frightened, I spin around and notice their presence before me. Cornered and shamed, lost and afraid, they have come for me. I'm trapped, drowning in this pool of their judgment, knowing I will never be able to make it. My heart slows down as I close my eyes, awaiting for impact to reach me. But something stops me in my tracks. They put their hand on my shoulder and frighten away the darkness. They call themselves the light and enlighten me with a promise. A land where everyone can be happy, where everyone is allowed to be themselves. There is no judgment, just freedom. A place that is home to everyone, no matter who they are and what paths they went down. A world where everyone realizes that every existence is equally appreciated. Oh, wow. I mean, that is a great poem. It's very deep, it has a lot of meaning, and I really feel it. I feel like what she's saying is that nobody should feel alone and everyone should feel loved. Again, thank you, Alexis, for your submission, and keep on writing. And next up, we're going to be talking about housefloats. I think it's safe to say we were all quite disappointed when we learned that Mardi Gras would be canceled for 2021. The year just isn't going to be the same without it. But, of course, you know that won't stop Louisianians from celebrating one way or another. And that's why they've come up with the concept of housefloats. And it's exactly how it sounds. People all around the city and surrounding areas have been converting their porches and stoops into stationary floats. So instead of going to Mardi Gras parades, you can bring them right to your home. It all started with a house on Toledano Street, courtesy of the crew of Red Beans. Not only are housefloats an awesome way to get into the spirit in a safe way, the crew of Red Beans has also started a project called Hire a Mardi Gras Artist. The project aims to help artists, craftsmen, and others who usually work on Mardi Gras floats for the upcoming season, but they're unfortunately now out of work due to the cancellation. Now, as you can imagine, that's a project that Yaya can get behind. No, actually, helping out Mardi Gras artists and getting an awesome house makeover, I think that's something that everyone can get behind. Also, some of the money that is raised with the project are going to Feed the Second Line, a program that helps Mardi Gras Indians, social aid, and pleasure club members, musicians, and others that are affected by COVID-19 cancellations. It seems that while we don't have our usual Mardi Gras, people still find a way to make it a great carnival season. Actually, that gives me an idea. How about we hold a contest for our audience to send in pictures of their housefloats to show on the buzz, and we can choose a winner. They don't have to be as extravagant as the one on Toledano Street. Just be creative and have fun with it. We could even call it Yardi Gras. How clever is that? I think Jackson's still getting to me. Not even here. Make sure to send in your housefloats for us to show on the show. We are very excited to see what you send.
You know, I love the concept of house floats. I mean, it still allows the festivities of Mardi Gras to happen, but in a cool, safe, and creative way. And I doubly love how Mardi Gras artists are being, thought of during this hard time.
Yes, me too. It just shows that no matter what, New Orleans will stick together. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed this episode of The Buzz, and make sure to tune in next time for more. I'm Lorelai.
And I'm Jackson. Be sure to be informed, be inspired, and be creative. I can go on. We'll see you around the hive. Bye.